Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to today's reading video. So, I'm coming on to do this reading outside of my typical posting times because I'm getting this really strong collective energy coming through. Now, while I am saying that this is collective, of course, within the collective, there are many different waves, timelines, and specific groups of people. So, this reading will not resonate for everyone. This is only for a certain group within the collective. But specifically, the energy I was picking up on was a situation where your intuition is going haywire over a certain person, over some kind of connection in your life. Something in your life has really activated your intuition in a strong way. And you have this strong inner knowing about this person or thing that doesn't necessarily match or align with the physical reality at the moment. I'm getting that there might be signs of confirmation here and there, but the signs almost seem small compared to just how strongly you are feeling this intuitively. And for the person I'm speaking to here, the complication is because your intuition is speaking so loudly, whereas there isn't that equally strong confirmation yet in the physical world, you might find yourself question what your intuition is telling you here. So I'm coming through with this message first and foremost to say your intuition is correct. And in fact, for some of you listening, that might be the entire purpose of this video, for you simply to know that you can trust the knowing that you're feeling intuitively about something. So of course, we are going to get into some specifics on what this knowing might be, but keep in mind as well, because we are channeling many different people here, this knowing could be different from person to person. But the key point is here, if you're in a situation right now where your intuition has just been going absolutely crazy about something that you're feeling so strongly, but the reality at the moment, while it might be giving you small signs here and there, it's mostly looking very different from your intuition. Your intuition is the guidance you can trust. However, I'm hearing trust doesn't necessarily lead to immediate action. And what I mean by that is, yes, you can trust the intuition that you're receiving, but this might be a knowing that you want to sit with, to allow to unfold naturally in the physical world, especially if we're talking about a person or a connection like a friendship, a business connection, a romantic connection. If this is an interpersonal relationship, especially, I'm hearing, although your intuition is correct, this doesn't mean necessarily to jump into action here, but to allow this to unfold naturally as you relax into that knowing. Trust the knowing and relax into it. So I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards here. And of course, right as I am about to shuffle the Energy Oracle cards deck, I see at the bottom of the deck we already have the Yin Yang card in the reverse position. So this is my number one twin flame card in the deck, although this doesn't necessarily have to be a twin flame situation. But regardless of whether this is a specific twin flame connection or just a high level soulmate, I'm sensing that there's a lot of energy pulling here. Now, of course, we're beginning to get a bit more specific because I said at the beginning, for some of you, this could be anything in your life. It doesn't have to be a person or relationship that you're feeling this intuition about. But we're going to get specifically more detailed regarding someone who's dealing with a love connection. So if this is a love connection or something romantic, you've felt a longing here. You felt a really strong longing doesn't even really describe it perfectly because it's a pulling. You've energetically felt tied and pulled to this person. And again, this is most likely making your intuition go crazy because what I'm hearing is the person you're connected to is getting equal signals and signs. They are feeling the pull to you equally, but you are the more psychic one in the connection. You are the more spiritually awakened and energetically open one. And because of this, although you are equally experiencing this bond, you are much more open to consciously recognizing that this is a soul connection. And so the guidance is a lot louder and a lot more consciously perceived for you. Whereas for the other person here, I'm getting it's going to be more of a slow burn effect where gradually they're going to realize more and more what's going on here. But the word absence is coming up. And this is going to get into an interesting message. I'm just going to take a sip of my coffee here. Hopefully you have some kind of tea, coffee, or comforting beverage of sorts for the reading today. But what I'm getting is the person you're connected to is going to be recognizing the intensity and longevity of your bond in a much more organic, natural, and gradual way. This is simply because they seem to be a lot more skeptical, a lot less consciously open to spiritual concepts and ideas. And as a result of that, you are the more spiritually open or psychic one here. So you are going to be more instantaneously and clearly and cognizantly understanding the nature of your connection with this person, whereas they are going to be realizing it more so gradually over the course of time connecting with you. Now let's get back to that word absence. So, this is a bit of a complex message. Stay with me here. But your absence or your distance physically from this person is actually going to play a major role in showing them just how unique and intense their connection with you really is. This absence isn't really necessary for you because, again, being the more psychic one in the connection, you already cognizantly and clearly understand how you are spiritually bonded to this person. But the absence is important on their end because it's going to really allow that slow burn effect of your energy to set in. Now, let's get more specific. What's really going to happen in your absence or your distance is this person is going to realize it doesn't matter how much or how little they are seeing you physically or interacting with you physically. The bond prevails. You remain in their consciousness. They continue to think about you. And in fact, those feelings only get stronger when they are separate from you or disconnected from you in some way physically. And this is like nothing they've ever experienced before because with past connections, it was very much out of sight, out of mind for them, just as it always is for everyone with non soul based connections. Because in non soul based connections, all of our connection to that person is based on a series, a progression of physical, 3D, visible, observable interactions. And those interactions directly correlate to the depth of bond that we feel with that person. Again, when the connection is non-soul based. But when we are dealing with a soul based connection, meaning our soulmates or a twin flame, depending on what kind of soulmate you're dealing with here, there is a deep unconscious soul bond that has pre-existed this lifetime. We have soul history, and even though we may not consciously remember those past lifetimes that we've spent with that particular soul, when we connect with them consciously, it triggers this deep sense of familiarity and bondedness. And I'm getting that you felt this immediately with this person because you knew how you were going to engage with them, how you were going to interact. You may have even had a knowing of their sense of humor, their personality, even without knowing anything about them. And it was the same for this person with you, but once again, they were more closed off to it. They more so shut down those feelings of familiarity because they felt crazy for feeling that way. But what is going to verify to them that something very unique is going on here with you is going to be the absence that they feel from you. And in fact, for some of you, this might be occurring right now. So this might be part of what's confusing you because this person may have created space or distance. They might not currently be communicating with you in the 3D. There might be some kind of disconnect. And Spirit is urging you not to close that gap, not to be the bridge, because once again, it's actually through this absence or through this physical 3D disconnect that they are going to be realizing the depth and longevity of what they're feeling for you. And it's going to open their eyes not only to the intensity of what they're feeling, but also to the possibility that there really is something more spiritual or esoteric going on here and now. This is someone who is extremely logical, extremely skeptical of things that they cannot visibly see and observe. But the absence that they're feeling from you or the distance is actually going to allow them to observe this spiritual component to your connection to a certain extent. Of course, spiritual things are never fully 100% perceivable and observable all the time. But this person is going to be able to sense on a deeper, more conscious level that there is something going on here spiritually between the two of you. So I'm hearing allow the distance, but relax in the knowing that your intuition is correct. Again, the distance or separation is actually really pivotal here because this is that really monumental point in time where this person is going to have the opportunity to experience the full-blown intensity of the bond that they have with you. And without that distance, they actually wouldn't be able to really access that depth of intensity because they would be consciously trying to shut it down with the logical mind. Okay, so wow, lots of messages coming through here. I'm going to continue shuffling the Rumi Oracle. Whoa, I meant to say the Energy Oracle, but maybe Rumi has a message for us because I don't believe in coincidences or accidents, so let's actually get a Rumi card here. Now, while I'm shuffling, of course, if you do want to channel a more specific message from the reading, I recommend liking the video and subscribing to the channel, as these are forms of energetic transference that do tend to allow me to pick up more easily on your energy and channel more specifically for you and your situation. The Rumi card that we pulled here is Sacred Soul Sister. And here the guidebook says, her truths may seem overly dramatic, so you may discount them as workings of an overactive imagination. Or perhaps her truth tales are so subtle you dismiss them as meaningless, fleeting fantasy. The wise ones, however, know that the truths of the Sacred Soul Sister are powerful, relevant, and worthy of time and attention. They know her oftentimes strange and startling offerings hold the keys to unlock entire worlds, to open up new realities, and to transform the nature of our existence from the deepest and most esoteric spiritual levels to the most palpable, practical daily realities of our living bodies in the physical world. Wow. So from that Rumi message, it's funny, I see it in a totally different light in the context of your reading today than I've ever interpreted those messages before when we pulled that card previously, because in today's reading, I really see you as being the sacred soul sister here, meaning you have access to a level of divine information that might on the surface appear to be fantasy or delusion. And this individual that you are interacting with, I feel them almost being on the brink of some kind of awakening, or being on the brink of opening up more deeply to esoteric and spiritual things. In fact, I feel that this is someone who, on a deep, unconscious soul level, has actually been asking, I'm hearing about the meaning of life or the meaning of their existence, or for more information about the deeper aspects of the human experience. And whether they did this consciously or unconsciously, this request that they made was granted through their meeting with you. So you have been a wish granted. I'm literally seeing a wishbone, the concept of a wish being granted. I feel that you are a wish granted to this person in the sense that meeting you has given them an opportunity to really begin to explore these previously unknown mysteries of either the inner workings of their own mind, of concepts around spirituality that maybe they'd never explored before but had curiosity about. You are presenting them this opportunity to go so much deeper in this dance with life. However, this person at this very pivotal moment where there might be separation or distance is almost deciding whether to take the plunge here. It's like that logical human side of them is trying to tell them this is fantasy, but there is such a deep urge and a deep pull really urging them forward. And so part of why this distance or separation is necessary is because this is a time of this person, I'm hearing, allowing the energy to percolate, allowing it to sit with them and have that slow burn effect that, by the way, your powerful energy always has on others. And it's almost as though they have to decide whether they're going to continue writing this off as fantasy and living in a very purely logical way, or whether they're going to open up to something a little bit deeper and more esoteric. I'm hearing at risk of looking like a fool, so maybe this is someone who's afraid of looking delusional or afraid of looking nonsensical or foolish, but I'm hearing that's the price of connecting with such a divine being as yourself. You may resonate with the divine feminine energy, although that won't be the case for everyone. I'm just getting a lot of that divine feminine goddess essence coming up around you. And it's almost like you are this, I don't know why the concept of a siren is coming up in mythology. Maybe you resonate with the siren archetype, but it's almost as though your energy is magnetizing this person out into the deep of themselves. And they're feeling very entranced at this time, but also their logical mind is trying to keep a hold over them. And I know it's become repetitive, but my guides just keep emphasizing the importance of allowing this silence, the importance of allowing this so-called apparent or disconnect, because it's really allowing this person to feel the depth and intensity of their connection with you so much more viscerally and palpably. So I'm going to pull some more cards on what they are thinking and feeling, as well as how your slow burn effect energy is likely to affect them. But first, if you are resonating with these messages, I highly recommend my subliminal for love magnetism. This subliminal is designed to clear out any blockages that you might be storing to unconditional love in each of the 7 chakra centers. I find that after listening I feel so incredibly magnetic all day long for love and positive attention and positive interactions, not just in the romantic sense, but generally as well in work and life, in business, platonically. So, this is a really powerful subliminal meditation to essentially realign you with that beautiful, powerful frequency of unconditional love. I have heard many success stories from others who have begun listening to this subliminal daily as well. So you truly may begin to see the results, shifts, and changes within yourself, even after just a few days of meditating with it consistently in the morning. And this subliminal is available through my subliminals app, Sound and Soulful. So as you can see on the screen, within this app, I have over 100 subliminals for every area of life. So there are subliminals for physical appearance changes, for mood shifts like confidence and happiness, for manifesting money, material things, for love and relationships, and so much more. And when you do download the app, you can sign up for a 7-day free trial and try out any subliminal I've created completely free for 7 days. You can also create your own custom private playlists. You can listen in 10 different background sound options, and you can even read the affirmations while you are listening. Again, the link to download the app is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video, but you can also find it by simply searching Sound and Soulful in either the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. And the subliminal I most recommend starting off with for this specific reading is my Love Magnetism subliminal, which is in the love and relationships category in the app. So all of that information is below, but I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards on. Whoa, okay, I just got a message before even pulling a card. As I was looking at that yin yang card, I felt this energy of fixation, hyperfixation, like someone who can't look away from something, someone who just keeps rolling something around in their mind. And of course, the yin yang card connects with the spiritual energy component of this very high level soul bond that you have with them. So, what that tells me is it's almost as though this person is hyper fixated on the idea of figuring this out or understanding this, but they're doing so in some kind of silence. So they're not working this out loud or by communicating it to you. It's all happening within their own mind. So, what is this person thinking about you? Okay, there's a fear of the unknown because we have the Fool card in the reverse position. So, this is someone who is feeling inexperienced or feeling like a beginner in some sense because the quality of your connection with them is like nothing they've ever experienced. And quite frankly, they don't know how to proceed with this. There's some kind of new territory here. Maybe some of the circumstances surrounding your connection also feel very much like unknowns to them or like new territory. I keep seeing a necklace. I'm getting something about the color green. This is someone who's feeling like they're being emotionally impulsive with how they're feeling for you so quickly. What they don't fully consciously realize is they quite literally can't help how they're feeling towards you so quickly because it's a soul thing, it's an energy thing. It has to do with a past life history that you share with this person as well. So I want to know, how else is this person feeling for you? Queen of Pentacles. So they are absolutely perceiving you in a very positive light. They see you as someone who's, I'm getting, you have this rare combination of seeming like almost this magical, ethereal, divine being, but at the same time, you have a huge amount of common sense and you're very down to earth. This might be something that this person is grappling with because they see themselves as very logically minded, very down to earth themselves, but they're very much opposed and closed off to esoteric things or spiritual things. And yet, when they look at you, they see this similarity in the sense that you are also someone who is, I'm hearing you think like them. Maybe you think similarly to this person. They see you as very down to earth, very logical, and yet at the same time, they know that you are someone who has this understanding of the mystery of life, this deeper intuitive wisdom that maybe others would label as fantasy or delusion, but that resonates with them in some space within themselves, even though it runs so counter to their typical sense of logic and reason. They also see you as a very nurturing, warm spirit, a very nurturing, warm person. They are in conflict, though. With the Five of Wands, we have the Six of Pentacles. So this is someone only wanting to participate with you if they feel that the energy exchange is balanced, meaning they want to be able to meet you and match you where you are energetically. Somehow I feel like this might be coming up against their ego or might be creating some internal conflict. Now, only you will know if or how that resonates. But for some of you, maybe this is someone who feels because of their current circumstances or status that they can't really give to you in an equal way. And that might be creating some hesitancy here or causing them to hold some distance. But again, that won't be for everyone. I will say that you and this connection are very active in their subconscious with the star card in the upright position. They find your presence to be, I'm hearing like healing waters. It feels so rejuvenating and cleansing to them. And this is very rare for this person as well, because this is someone who they are unconsciously empathic in the sense that they might not fully realize it, but people actually do tend to drain them when they're around crowds or negative energies for a certain period of time. It causes them to really close in or cave in on themselves. So they're really surprised that this near stranger, especially if this is a recent connection, that someone they don't know super well in the physical world necessarily yet, somehow rejuvenates their soul with their presence. Your presence around them causes them to feel like their soul is being replenished. And what I'm getting is this feeling is very neutral as well. I'm getting you feel this way around this person's energy also. The familiarity here is making this person nostalgic. With the Six of Cups, there's almost this sense of returning back to a younger, more innocent, purer state of being that you bring out in them. And once again, I feel this might be shared where when the two of you are speaking or connecting, there's this timeless nature to those interactions. There is this sense that you would have connected in every place, state, and time, that it wouldn't have mattered what point the two of you met, that you always would have connected in this pure, open-hearted kind of way. I will say with the Six of Wands, in spite of some of the internal conflict happening here, this is someone who does seem to ultimately be very likely to move forward from their heart. But again, I see it happening after a bit of internal deliberation that is going to most likely or is most likely occurring because of this sense of conflict. I'm hearing, what do I have to offer you? So part of that conflict might be, what do I really have to offer this beautiful, magical, divine creature that I've encountered? I know that's a weird way of saying it, but I just so strongly feel that on this person's energy. So, wow, this reading has been so fascinating. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And I hope if this message was yours, that it reached you and confirmed something to you that your intuition already knows. Of course, take whatever resonates and leave the rest here. If you do resonate with my energy in a general sense, I would love for you to subscribe to the channel, join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself. And if you do feel guided to explore the subliminals I've created to help you transform your mindset, shift your energy, energy and manifest your desires in life. The link to download the Sound and Soulful app is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. Otherwise, I hope you have a beautiful, magical remainder of your day, and I will connect with you here again in the next video. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, we are going to be doing a reading and energy update for our beautiful collective here on YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And if you would like to receive a more specific message from the reading, I do recommend liking the video and subscribing to the channel, as these are forms of energetic transference that do allow me to pick up more easily on your energy and channel more specifically for you and your situation. Okay, so I've got my coffee here. Hopefully you have some coffee or tea or some other comforting beverage to sip on during the reading. And I'm going to start today by shuffling the energy oracle cards. Now, as I always say, please keep in mind that I do channel many different people, things, messages, and energies throughout these readings. So only take the messages that connect with you and align for you in an intuitive way. One thing I do want to discuss here at the beginning of the reading is the concept of shifting timelines, and how when you shift timelines, you can actually temporarily experience some symptoms that can be labeled as negative. This is because when you shift timelines very quickly, your entire energy body has to go through a kind of readjustment period. So temporarily, when you shift onto a higher timeline or go through some kind of massive emotional healing, energy healing, up-leveling experience, you might temporarily feel a little bit out of sorts, a little out of place. You can feel increased emotionality. So this can feel like emotions we might label as negative, or just feeling heightened emotions in general. And this is all completely normal. This, in a sense, is sort of like a massive release of old energy to allow you to fully align with the frequency of that new timeline. So I don't know who I'm speaking to here, but I feel for someone listening, you've been going through this massive up-leveling, or maybe you've been specifically using certain tools to manifest in your life, and you've begun to experience some temporarily kind of negative signs or sensations that you can't quite understand, know that again, this is temporary, but it's also very normal. It's sort of like how when you're going through some kind of a cleanse, you might release toxins in the physical body that can cause what some people call a Herxheimer reaction, where temporarily you can feel physically worse during a cleanse and then suddenly feel tons better. This can happen energetically as well when we are processing out and releasing old energy to up level really quickly. We can actually temporarily re-experience that old energy through it being released in the stratosphere of our own aura, our own energetic field, so to speak. Okay, so I feel that was really a bit of a side message for someone, but if that is for you, I want to talk about what you're releasing, but also where you're headed, because I feel both of these are really important to touch on here. So let's start with what you are releasing. So, what are you energetically releasing? Wow, some karmic contracts. This might be multiple contracts. This might just be one very specific contract. And I feel that whether it's one specific karmic contract or several, these karmic energies seem to be carrying a lot of heaviness. And I'm hearing that you've carried that heaviness unconsciously, even through times where on the surface you've felt happy or felt good on a surface level. For a while now, there's been this heaviness deep within you, this sense that you are carrying some kind of a weight. And the divine is almost saying here, it's time to let go of that heavy energy deep within yourself. It's time to no longer feel the need to carry everything for others. Specifically, you might be releasing certain karmic programming around feeling the need to bear the burden of others, to always be the caretaker, to always be the one taking care of others, or carrying the weight of unhealed trauma of others. Because what I'm getting is you yourself have been doing the healing work. You've been on this journey. You've been becoming deeply self-aware, and you've really raised your frequency to a high level. But something that has been weighing you down is this sense of over responsibility for the unhealed traumas of others, feeling as though it's your job to carry for someone else what they will not heal. And that is just not the case. It's not your job to carry for someone else what they aren't willing to heal within themselves. So I'm getting that that is something being released. And you are most likely feeling or re-experiencing a lot of that heavy energy through its release. I'm getting that you might be getting the sudden urge to cry. You might just be feeling sad or feeling grief or getting flashbacks to certain memories with certain people out of nowhere. This can all be a sign that you are actually deeply releasing that need to be responsible for others. And in doing so, you are freeing yourself to greater harmony and happiness in relationship. Because with the happy family card, truthfully, you've been ready for a while to manifest more loving, caring, supportive connections in your life. You've healed to become the person that is prepared to receive those kinds of connections. However, it almost feels as though your energetic space has been a bit cluttered with these past, outdated, heavy energies, which again, I really feel related to obligation or over responsibility for others, specifically people from your past. And so releasing that sense of responsibility or obligation is going to free you to allowing yourself to experience harmony, deep supportive connections. So that really begins to answer the question of what you're shifting into. Part of what you're shifting into here are these connections that are deeply supportive for you. connections that bring a lot of peace and harmony into your life, because from a law of attraction perspective, really they are connecting with you in that space of peace and harmony that you have cultivated within yourself. I also have the unconditional love card, the angel of love, and I'm hearing allow yourself to be soft. Because what I'm getting is I might be picking up on someone here who felt from a young age that they had to approach the world with a really tough exterior. You may have kind of put on this harsher exterior for the purpose of surviving in the world. Now, when I say harsh, I don't necessarily mean unloving or anything like that, but what I do mean with this word harsh is that you may have had very much a pushing kind of energy as opposed to a receptive energy. You may have felt as though you had to kind of push or force things into place that you weren't simply worthy of just receiving because of who you are and the kind of energy that you emanate. And so you are coming deeply back into that sense of worthiness within yourself. And in doing so, you are attracting a physical reality that is equally unconditionally loving. You might find the affirmation helpful, I live in an unconditionally loving universe. You may feel guided to repeat that to yourself whenever you find yourself slipping back into any old patterns of fear or anxiety, to just reaffirm to yourself that I am a being of unconditional love and I live in an unconditionally loving universe. That could be really powerful for someone here listening. But I want to know more about this timeline you're shifting into. Okay, so romantically speaking, with door to romance reversed, certain romantic doors have felt closed to you recently or in the past. And I'm getting that there's been a feeling of restlessness associated with this as well. Almost this sense of being on the brink of some really powerful things, but not being entirely sure how or when those things are going to come into your life fully or in a more manifested way. I'm also getting the words false starts. So maybe someone I'm speaking to here had many false starts in love, either with one specific person or with multiple different people, where you really began to believe that things were going somewhere and then things would suddenly go cold or feel cut off. And I'm getting that if this was the case, it's because energetically and spiritually, you are connecting with a very open, awakened energy. Now, if you consider yourself to more so be the divine feminine here, then this appears to be a masculine energy that's very calm, stable, gentle, open, spiritually aware as well, with the man holding a coin card. Now, do keep in mind, we all do have a balance internally of both the divine feminine and divine masculine. So always use your intuition to determine how to apply these messages, because sometimes this could relate to your internal masculine or feminine or to some external person or situation. So clearly this timeline that you have shifted onto, that you are now adjusting to and processing out these old energies, this involves a powerful love connection that you've been holding space for. Now, this might be the healing or harmonization of a person from your past. This might be someone completely new. But regardless, I want to know more about this man holding a coin, this very open, awakened, healed kind of energy. Okay, so we have the hostilities card. We have the Angel of Balance card reversed. And the cornucopia. Okay. So there's some energy of past conflict here that may have been leaving you feeling unbalanced, but it's all been leading to this very powerful manifestation in love here that was happening in a sort of divine ordering. So what I'm getting is that you may have experienced some kind of conflict in your love or romantic life where you may have wondered if there was something you could do differently to make things work with certain people from your past. Maybe you suddenly felt like there was conflict in some of those connections or in one specific connection, or it just seemed to bring a lot of chaos in your life or leave you very ungrounded. This may also represent someone who may have internally fought the ending of a certain connection, who may have tried to continue connecting with or pushing something into place with someone who seemed to be disconnecting from them or leaving their life. And this may have left you very unbalanced, but this won't be for everyone, so only take that if it connects. But interestingly, all of this energy of conflict and imbalance, that whole time, what you weren't able to see was this powerful manifestation on the horizon. But it's like you had to get through that energy of conflict and imbalance to get to the manifestation. Now, of course, this could be on the masculine's end here. Maybe they themselves went through a time of conflict and imbalance to get to this manifestation. I will say with the thinking man in reverse that your presence or connecting with you seems to soften this person's ego. It seems to get them out of their mind and drop them into their heart. Whether this is someone that you've only been connecting with in consciousness, meaning your souls are connected, but maybe you've not yet met physically in this lifetime, or maybe this is someone that you've met and you've been talking to or connecting with, or someone from your past, but you really drop this person into their heart space. And what I'm getting is this is someone who has had their heart blocked for a really long time, with woman holding a heart reversed and the fourth chakra in the reverse position. I feel that this is a masculine who doesn't give their heart away easily, who tends to be a bit closed off in the heart space. They might typically be slow to express feelings. I'm getting this as someone who doesn't feel like they're very good at flirting or at being romantic, being a smooth talker, because it's just not really their nature. This is someone who, I don't want to say they're awkward in love situations, but it almost does feel that way, that typically dropping into their heart brings out this kind of awkwardness for them. But with you, they've been surprised at how those feelings flow so easily and feel so clear and obvious to them internally, even though I feel in many cases they've not necessarily expressed those feelings externally yet. They may not even fully realize that they've not expressed them, because from their perspective, they're feeling for you so clearly and deeply that they feel like it's just written all over their face or just very obvious somehow to you, even if you are looking at this situation thinking, well, they've not verbally expressed anything yet, if that makes sense. The color green is coming up here. This also could be a green crystal or stone of some kind. Green can also symbolize summertime, growth, a really happy, thriving time. And I feel that that's the kind of energy that this person senses when they're connected to you consciously. They feel this warmth, this excitement, this kind of heightened energy whenever they connect with you. This is something also that seems to be really hard for them to even put into words here. It's this truly mystical experience. They are experiencing you and your energy in a really mystical way, but a way that is impossible to miss. So, what else can I channel about this masculine or about this connection? Okay, so we have the Eight of Wands in the reverse position. So there's something about losing momentum or bad timing, coming back from travel. Maybe this is a person that you've always been spiritually connected to. Maybe they've even kind of been on the fringes or the outskirts of your life, but there's been this sense that the timing just wasn't right in the past. For some reason, I'm also getting the High Priestess reversed here and the Queen of Cups. It's interesting because typically you come up as the High Priestess upright, especially as a Divine Feminine. Your core energy tends to resonate with High Priestess energy in the sense that you are someone who's deeply spiritually connected, deeply intuitive. So I'm curious why this card is coming out in reverse. And I am going to look into this. This might be a past feminine that this masculine connected with who was very out of touch with her own intuition. There's something about dreams and the subconscious mind and spirituality coming out here. So this is a masculine, again, if this is a masculine energy and you are the Divine Feminine here, this is someone who feels caught in this dream space when it comes to this very mystical place. Because the moon is sitting on the heart space, it's almost like part of them can't decide whether these feelings are real and legitimate and tangible or whether they are some kind of fantasy or daydream, but that's also really drawing them in. This is because the reason, I should say, that they're wondering whether this is just fantasy or daydream is because they've never experienced an energy like yours, and the way your energy is touching them and interacting with them is putting them into that kind of liminal subconscious space. It's connecting them more to their inner spiritual self. It's something that seems to stick with them, to stimulate their creativity, to inspire them on this deep level. And that's exactly why they're kind of uncertain about it, because this is like nothing they've ever touched or experienced energetically before. So if this person is moving somewhat slowly, it may be because your energy is like a phenomenon to them. It's almost something that they're still trying to get a handle on, that they're still trying to understand and get comfortable with, because it's just so different from anything that they've ever experienced. But I also see very positive feelings flowing towards you with the Ace of Wands. This is about new beginnings, new passion, starting something new. They definitely feel some kind of very powerful spark here. But with the Temperance card, this may take some time physically to fully manifest or come together. So there is really a powerful message here about staying grounded in your own energy and allowing this to unfold naturally, which of course has been a major theme in many recent reading videos. So with that being said, I really want to pull through some personal messages here as well. Now, if you are wanting more information about the masculine who's been coming through this reading and this connection generally, we will be channeling more about that in the extended version of the reading on Patreon. So we will be diving deeper into their thoughts and feelings, who or what that High Priestess reversed energy might be, and how potentially this situation could move forward into the future. So the link to the Patreon reading with all of those additional details is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. But now I really want to connect in with the guides of the Divine Feminine. This could be your spirit guides, your higher self, whatever cosmic forces you personally connect with. You're already doing it. Something you want is already here, but you might not be fully allowing yourself to see it or embrace it yet. Interesting. So for someone listening, there might be something you've been asking for or wanting to manifest that's recently materialized into your physical reality. This might be something that's come into your life recently that's pretty new, so you're a little bit unsure about it. This also could be an idea that you've gotten that you're not totally sure about. It's something that's come into your reality that feels exciting for you, that's pulling you in a really strong way. And it's actually something that contains within it the fulfillment of so many things that you've been desiring and asking for. But there is this little voice of doubt here, almost saying, can I trust this? Can I move forward with this? And so for someone, this might be a sign of confirmation to allow yourself to follow those feelings of passion and pull, because what you desire is already here. Allow yourself to move with it, to act on it, and to not allow the mind to stifle it. Okay, so what else can I channel? I saw something about someone's mother or grandmother. Especially if you're a divine feminine, this could be speaking to the fact that there's been certain generational curses, so to speak, which are really just limiting belief systems passed down through family lines. But there's something of that nature that maybe you've been called to heal through you taking action on some goal, dream, or desire. Yeah, and right as I said that, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So as you take action in this passionate, inspired direction, you are aligning with that Wheel of Fortune energy, with that very lucky energy of positive alignments, of abundance. We also have the Sun card as well. So this is about connecting with awakened masculine energy. Now I'm picking up that spiritually, your energy, your divine feminine energy has been touching and connecting with and activating many divine masculines globally. Now, you might be doing this simply through sharing something through your work, through a business, through your art, your music, an expression of yourself. This also could be just happening in the quantum invisible realm. So this might not be anything you're physically doing, just a way that your energy is felt and processed and responded to by divine masculines around the world who are awakened and inspired by your essence and activated to their own highest path and highest potential, even in ways that you might not be fully aware of. For some of you, this might relate to a specific masculine in your life that you are connecting with or awakening, or multiple, which by the way could be friends, family members, coworkers, platonic situations. This isn't limited to romantic connections, although of course that could be relevant for you as well. There's something in general coming up about sunshine and allowing yourself to maybe be out in the sun or to get more sunlight, because the sun can be very spiritually and energetically activating for us as well. Okay, we're getting the Eight of Pentacles in the upright position. So what I'm getting is you've been dedicated to something for a while that's beginning to or soon will be bringing tangible results and rewards in the physical world. Now, this might be you being dedicated to your own healing. This could be you being dedicated to some kind of energy that you're embodying, something that you're trying to manifest, some kind of endeavor in your life. But what's interesting is we got the number 2626 connected to this, and that number stands for finding balance and trusting yourself, trusting your gut, following your passion. Be brave and stay true to yourself. So as you do that, as you embody those themes, you are going to be seeing major rewards from something that you've been sustaining a focus on for a while. And there is something about allowing sustained focus, meaning not allowing your passion to become diluted by fear so that you're kind of wavering back and forth energetically, but really allowing yourself to focus on that feeling of creativity and passion in a consistent way until you start seeing those results. Because I'm getting this powerful message that as you have the courage to kind of keep moving in that true north direction, following your passion, being brave, you are going to be seeing things coming to fruition here. But I'm getting it's going to be a gradual process at first, and then it's going to exponentially pick up momentum. So at first, these might be small signs, small indications, small seeming manifestations, but don't discount the small signs in the beginning, because that small energy is going to lead to bigger and bigger energies and corresponding manifestations. Now, as we've been channeling all of this, we have the Emperor here as well. So this, of course, could be a way in which you are developing a sense of power or status in the physical world or in the spiritual realm, depending on how this resonates. But this also could be you internally really having healed your internal masculine energy. And if you are dealing with particular love or romantic relationships and you've been manifesting an awakened, healed, emperor like masculine into your life in a consistent way, I see this being that manifestation coming in a way that's very grounded, stable, harmonious, and supportive, because this is sitting on the root chakra. So if it is relating in that way, what you need to know is this love energy coming into your life or manifesting is someone who's going to be very grounding and stabilizing to you. Their presence is going to feel grounding. It's going to feel very peaceful for you. And they seem to effortlessly align with and fit into this beautiful life that you're creating around yourself. So this isn't someone who's going to be resistant to or counter to any of your soul expressions, anything that you are expressing or creating in this world. On the contrary, they're very much going to align, support, and fit into that grander picture of your life, that highest ideal of your expression in life. And that's a major way that you're going to recognize this so-called emperor as well. So in the extended version of the reading on Patreon, we will be channeling who or what else might be connected to your energy at this time, as well as any further messages you might need to know. So if you are feeling guided to join our beautiful Patreon Soul Tribe and listen to the extended reading, the link to do so is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. For now, I am going to close the reading with one final Rumi Oracle card, and this card is Whirling Goddess. Lose your head. Not a single thread that has a head can go through the eye of a needle. Rumi. You are ready, you see, sweet soul dancer. You are ready to live beyond what you know. To have it not matter if you don't understand how life can work itself out, or how it could be that someone so normal and ordinary as you and I could also be magnificent, wild, and divine. The need for answers and plans, assurances and explanations is passing out of your world now. You are to let go of any stigma around not knowing. Know nothing and dance, sweet soul, for all will unveil itself to you in perfect harmony and timing. Your heart shall create the steps in response to the music of the spheres, happening now, alive and spontaneous and free. So that feels like a perfect place to close today's reading. If you do feel a resonance with my energy, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself, where I post more energy updates, inspiration, and information. Of course, if you do want to head over with me now to Patreon, where I will be continuing this reading, the link to do so is in the pinned comment and description box underneath the video. Otherwise, I am sending you all huge amounts of love and light energy. Have a wonderful remainder of your day and weekend, and I will connect with you here again in Monday's reading.